I'm Steve Protheroe. Today's the 7th of December 2014. I'm here as a layman, speaking to you as a layman about the death of my son, killed by a police officer by the name of Thomas Hess on the 17th of April 2012. I want to relive the events to show you exactly what took place and what I'm talking about. So far I have 102 hits viewers on my official blog site, and I thank each and every one of you for your support. I now just wish to show you what we're actually fighting for again. A recap, if you will. Have a listen to this. Yeah.
When the man, 36 years of age, hunted the police officer, walked around, pointed a loaded semi-automatic pistol at the police officer when the police officer had no choice but to use his firearm to defend his own life.
Look, on the lower abdomen and the lower upper side of the chest.
Once again, we've got to put up with Mr. Big Mouth Ian Levers from the Queensland Police Union with his damning lies again, telling the people of Queensland and this family what happened. In my mind, from the outset, he tainted this whole case. He painted a picture that wasn't true. And I believe he, more than likely, he colluded with other police officers to do it. Now I want you to, 2 days later, at the John Tong Centre, I was told I was informed that my son had actually been shot in the back twice. I want you to watch this. It was a Channel 9 statement. Well, I'm sorry, it was a media coverage of this report from the pathologist.
Queensland. Good evening. There's an explosive development in the case of a petty car thief gunned down in a Brisbane backyard.
Police who shot him claimed it was a case of kill or be killed, but the autopsy reveals their victim was shot in the back.
The case is simply this. My son was shot twice in the back.
Documents obtained by 9 News suggest the family was right. The autopsy, performed the next morning and made available only now, reveals 2 gunshot wounds, the first from the outer back of the upper arm, the second on the right lower back. Completely contradicting the detective's official version, the report says it would be difficult, if not impossible, to reconstruct how these shots were sustained in the circumstances as described by the police.
The matter is being thoroughly investigated. Ethical standards are currently still investigating that issue, and I have full confidence that the matter will be investigated in an open, in a transparent way.
It's 4 months to the day since the shooting. The family wonders if the investigation would be faster if the victim had been the policeman.
Well, we're not after sympathy from anyone. We're simply after justice for our son. If that's too much to ask for, then I guess we really are in a bad place. Now, you've just seen the official pathology report. At Jason's hearing, the pathologist, Dr. Ron, was asked why did he amend his report. And he, as to my knowledge, he simply said he was asked to by the police. There were 3 people at my son's, 3 witnesses at my son's death. That included the shooting officer, Thomas Hess, his partner, Troy Weston, and an independent witness outside of the police. This independent person clearly said Jason did not hold a weapon of any type whatsoever. Peter Johns, leading counsel for the coroner, during the hearing, said that no weight should be placed. He didn't believe any weight should be placed on the evidence given by police officer Troy Weston. He also said there was no reason that this independent witness has lied or would lie. Now, this all being true, which it is, why didn't this man face criminal charges? Why wasn't he stood down? Why did from the very outset, from the moment my son was shot, the collusion started from Ian Levers, Queensland Police President, and it went on and on and on down the chain. I watched the police with my own eyes colluding together with people, police officers coming from giving evidence of stuff that 14 months after the fact, that they never reported, that they never wrote down. But they're coming in and saying all this lies. In my opinion, without a doubt, lies. This is what our police force has done. Jack Dempsey promised open and transparent investigation. We did not get that. Coroner Michael Barnes, 5 days after closing the hearing, then went out and gagged all the evidence so the public would never know the truth as to what actually took place. He then rode off on his high horse and left us to deal with all our problems ourselves. The police have returned their back on us. The government turned their back on us. We intend to fight on.
So, Stephen, Commissioner Stewart in an interview recently spoke of Queensland being a violent and complex society. What are your views on that? The
only thing violent and complex in our society, which we should really be worried about, is what the Queensland police hierarchy are doing to our citizens. There's been a lot of police shootings lately. How can any one of those, the family members of these victims shot by police, trust the police? I pity them. I don't believe for half a second the truth will come out, whatever that truth may be. The police gang mentality that I've seen has got to stop. It starts from the top and it works its way all the way down the chain. This brotherhood that they can do no wrong has got to stop. There are a lot of decent police officers, yes, but we need to weed out the bad ones, and we need this brotherhood, this gang mentality to simply stop. This gung-ho, shoot first and ask questions later has got to stop. Our citizens are being slaughtered. Now the only thing I've ever fought for is the truth as to what happened on the 17th of April 2012. What happened to my son? What happened in that backyard in the couple of minutes it took to kill him, to have my son dead?
Are you ever going to give up that fight?
I certainly am not. As a matter of fact, we're ready. The saddest part for us is that we've actually got to take out a private prosecution ourselves. And my legal team is ready to do that. But I ask this, why should we have to? If you or I were to shoot a person dead and got witnesses stating that you shot him dead and he was unarmed, we would go to jail. We would go to court. We would go to jail. These police officers aren't even stood down. We've got the likes of Ian Levers constantly telling us how good they are and that they will be proven innocent.
Do you believe that Mr. Levers has changed his ways since Jason's death?
Oh, please, please. I believe he said it at the hearing, he said that he had changed his ways. What a laugh. I've only got to turn on the TV every single time. You never hear someone like Ian Levers turn around and say, well, might be possible that our police officers acted wrongly. You don't hear that said. Why isn't it said? Why do they straight away jump up and down and tell us how good and dedicated their police officers are? They weren't there, he wasn't there. They don't know what happened until they look into it. And if they're going to look into it and close their eyes and make up evidence, and collude together and look after their brothers and sisters in arms, what hope do any of us have?
So do you believe police should be investigating police?
No way in the world. That's the biggest issue here. Police should never, ever investigate police. There should be independent parties to any police shooting, and furthermore, I think any person who takes another life should at least be stood down until the matter is cleared up properly. Now, be it with pay or without pay really doesn't matter. But they should be stood down until they are totally cleared of any wrongdoing. Once again, this didn't happen in the case of my son. Thomas Hess was given his gun back 2 days later, back on the beat. No big deal, he just killed my son. Shot him in the back of his body twice. Give a few versions of the events and okay, that's all right.
So, lastly, can you tell us what it is that you're actually seeking as justice for your son, Jason?
Simply the truth. It's been over 2.5 years now. Funny thing about the truth, it never changes. It's there. I want the gag that Coroner Michael Barnes put on the evidence to be uplifted so that I can go ahead and let the whole of Queensland know what actually took place. You might ask yourself, why did he gag it? I ask, what's he scared of? What's this government scared of? What's this Queensland Police Force, police hierarchy scared of? They're scared of the truth. I'm not.
Even if it means that you find something out you don't want to know?
Even if it means finding out that Jason did in fact even hold a replica pistol, I would have no qualms. If he pointed a replica pistol at him, but that is an allegation, it's not a proven fact. None of these facts have been tested in a real court with a jury of 12 people. That's my problem.
So that's really what you're seeking?
I'm seeking a jury trial for the killing of my son. And I want an independent jury, not the police force, not Michael Barnes, not Ian Levers, an independent jury to say guilty or not guilty and have all those facts tested. Now I thank you for your support and I beg you to please share this with as many people as you can, because this government's got to be held accountable. Somebody's got to stand up and say enough's enough, and that's what I'm going to do. Thank you.